everyone, and welcome back to Fast Guard News. I'm Dwight Gibson.
I'm Roderick Payne.
And today we want to talk to you about being a service provider and what it means to be a service provider and what it means to be the perfect service provider. So, in your opinion, what do you think of when you think of the perfect service provider?
Well, I think it's going to be somebody that's available when need be, somebody that's going to be Johnny on the spot 24/7 all around the clock. You want somebody that's going to show up and fulfill a need, whatever that service may be, especially if it's like plumbing or dealing with gates or any type of malfunction with the perimeter of the location. Also, fire watch, dealing with security, dealing with fire panels. Having a fire watch, as we know, can be a serious inconvenience. And if you don't know where to go to find the service, the fire department has a price for you. Mm-hmm. It's not cheap. It usually starts between $95 $150
Per hour?
Per hour. And don't let it be a holiday. Remember,
that's for the fire department.
That's dealing with the fire department, dealing with fire watch. You know, they in some places, like I know Connecticut, they do this all the time. Like, hey, we don't know of any fire watch locations, so we're going to provide it for you. If you find somebody that offers this service, you could bring them to us and we'll verify if they're up to par. But if not, you know, you got to use us. Chances are they'll find a way to make you use them. But being a service provider in a community, you got to remember, like, some communities, it could be a space where maybe 100 houses can fit, and then you multiply that by the number of floors they have. Mm-hmm. So it could be an apartment building or a condo association that has 100 units, easy. 200 units, double the amount of people, facilities to take care of. So anything can break from air condition to you know, you can have a backed up toilet that causes a flood, and it trickles down floors. So all of those things end up running into the fire code, mainly inside the building internally, because they short out circuits. They wet things that shouldn't be wet. They mess up pull stations. So it's a lot of fire. We've been on several occasions. We were in Marco Island for about 6 months because a flood happened. The lines went empty. They had to replace the lines, but it ruined all the pull stations and all the speakers in the fire alarm. So, you know, they had to come and redo everything on the whole floor. Not as easy as it sounds. Right. So when the garages or the what do you call them, the gate?
Rolling grills.
In a
parking garage?
Correct. When they go down, they a lot of times use security to secure the location to keep people from to lower theft. Those grills are really made as a deterrent, right? You know, some of them can be walked under or whatever, but
it's to keep the people out that aren't supposed to be in, and
correct,
to allow access for the people that belong in there to be able to get in.
Correct. So when that's down or it's malfunctioning, you're going to need security to come in and circumvent. So even when it comes to like flooding and different disasters that could happen in a unit, if those units have to be left open and people's personal items are in there, of course they would have to go stay in a hotel, but the unit has to be open and has to air out. They're going to need security. So there's 1,000 different uses for, especially for property management companies dealing with security. The problem is a lot of them just don't know. They'll end up trying to use their personal staff or somebody working in the office. Oh, we'll just do fire watch ourselves, and not realize that you're running into a situation where you could be violating the rule and end up paying a hefty fine.
So what could those fines get up to? Like what happens when the fire department gets wind of a company or an individual that is supposed to be on fire watch and they're not following the proper protocol set forth by the fire department? Well,
the main deal, the fines could start from $500 to $5,000. I ain't never seen them over $5,000 unless they compound them. But the whole duty of a fire watch, it has to be a designated individual, and that's where people go wrong all the time. They say, you know what, it's me and Cindy in the office. One of us can designate ourselves to doing the fire watch, and then maybe another emergency happens. And you forget to fill out the fire watch log. You're not paying attention. You didn't walk around. And the fire marshal comes in. That one entry costs you $500 to $5,000. just like that. God forbid a real situation happen or an incident happens where your job is now to go and evacuate the building and the pull stations are down. You have to, the whole goal of a fire watch guard is to be an audible alarm, like a walking, breathing fire alarm. They're supposed to go knock on the doors or go on the floor and blow an air horn. Hey, everybody, we got to evacuate. Knock on every door. Make sure everybody knows that it's time to evacuate. The building's on fire. You going to do that working in the office? You got 30 buildings. Be realistic.
So can, like, what could happen if the fire marshal finds that their rules have been violated?
Well, I mean, number one, they can make the whole building evacuate. I've seen that in one extreme situation where they gave people several chances to have fire watch and do it the right way. They didn't have the personnel to come and provide the fire watch, so they evacuated the building. It was a hotel.
So they essentially shut the business down.
Shut it down. And then you got to think.
For what reason did they cite?
It was the fire alarms not working. They had no water in the whole system.
So, life safety.
Correct. They had no water, and they refused to try. They tried to do the fire watch themselves. It was funny. We learned about it after the fact, but they hired us and then called back before the guard made it there and said, "Hey, we're going to do a refund. We're going to do a chargeback on our card because we don't need it anymore." What they did is showed the fire department that they had a paid receipt from a licensed company, and that we were going to be conducting the fire watch. And so the fire marshal came out there probably, I think it was the first night, maybe 10 hours in. Came out there, see they had no fire watch. They tried to call us real quick. They tried to get on the phone in front of the fire marshal saying, what's going on? Where's your guy? So you called us and canceled it. You said you didn't need it. They ended up getting fined after the fact and shut down. The fire marshal said, hey, I'm going to give these guys one more chance. I'm going to let them hire you guys again because I thought that was kind of dirty how they did you. And if you guys are out there, I want you to report to me at the end of every day. You turn the fire watch logs into me at the end of every shift. And so they ended up getting it back open. They kept them closed for like 12 hours. Think of how big of a pain in the neck that is. The whole hotel had to go find. They had to go purchase them rooms at another property.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it was dumb, but it can happen, and you have to understand the seriousness of why. It's not just somebody trying to flex their muscle. It's life safety. People are in their sleep thinking that you're providing a safe environment, and you're not worrying about the very basic of things. Hey, is the building on fire while I'm asleep? So you have to address those things, especially property management, building owners, homeowner association members.
So, in terms of being the perfect service provider, when you're a customer and you're looking to buy a product or a service, what do you look for in a company to meet your criteria of them being, your perfect service provider?
Truthfully, we'll go from everything from, cutting grass to painting. You want consistent pricing because you're going to have to use the service 9 times out of 10 a lot. You want responsive individuals working in that office. You want when you call, if your call is missed, it's going to be returned quickly. You want somebody's cell phone number so you can text because it's that important. You may need things in an emergency. And you want somebody that's going to be efficient at their job, not somebody's going to come back, put a Band-Aid on it, have to come back the next 5 days to fix what they should have fixed in one day. Same thing with fire watch. You don't want somebody coming out sleeping on the job. It's supposed to be somebody's up, paying attention. They're supposed to be properly staffed, have the proper relief, and paying full attention to what they're doing there on shift. It might sound like a very simple job, but you miss a signature or you fail to enter the log into the book, it could mean your whole building gets shut down.
So when mistakes happen, because you're dealing with people, they will. What do you look for from your service provider when mistakes happen? You
want them to be assertive in their response. You want them to be forthcoming. You don't want anybody trying to hide anything, sweep it under the carpet. A mistake happened. Hey, this is what happened. This is how we're handling it. Give me a plan. Give me hey, this is what's going on, but this is how we're going to solve the problem, so it's nothing for you to worry about. Vice versa, somebody to call and tell you, hey, we messed up. Okay. What are you going to do to try to fix it or not to let it happen again? And unfortunately, you don't deal with a bunch of free thinkers in the world, especially in the service provider industry. You do a major service with the high-speed doors and, the dock levelers and everything else with fast equipment. And it's the same type of deal over here. People don't want to call you back 3 and 4 times. They want the job done right the first time and not have to deal with a bunch of back and forth. We stay on the phone mainly because there's one point of contact with our clients. Sometimes you be on the phone 3-4 hours making sure the job goes smoothly. But that's part of the lifeblood here at FastGuard is we're going to get it done right. Even if it takes a little while longer than originally expected, we're there with you. We're not going to let you down, and we're always going to be on standby.
All right. Well, there you have it. If you need security service anywhere in the nation, give us a call, 844-254-8273. You can also reach us online at www.fastguardservice.com. We hope to hear from you soon. Thank you, and have a great day.
Have a nice one.